All right, joining me now on Inside TBT, the recurring guest of all recurring guests. He's repping the shirt. Jon Elmore from Heard That. Welcome back to the show.
Let's go. Fired up TBT. Let's get it, man.
So I don't really know where to start, but I think I want to start with this. You were incredible last year, but you played a lot of games in a lot of days, and the team was, for lack of a better term, pretty beat up when you all got to Philly last year, and you still put the comeback on in that game and almost did something special. Do you feel like last year goes differently with a different schedule, or did you lose to the better team?
Um, I think it's just one of those games, man. I think I like our team. I'd take our team 10 times out of 10, but one game, anything can happen. Credit to Heartfire. They had a heck of a team, a lot of talent, a lot of big dudes. They just were better that night. We played again. I'm taking us, but as you know, anything can happen in one game. That's the beauty and the nastiness of this tournament. And we hit a wall, and they ended up winning the whole thing.
Well, they're the 1 seed in Dayton. Y'all are the 1 seed in Lexington. You wouldn't have to meet them again until a potential semifinal matchup. But you're the 1 seed. You and your brother Ott, who's notorious for talking, he always says, "Why aren't we a higher seed? Why aren't we a higher seed?" Well, here you go, the 1 seed. How did it feel to finally see that number one next to Heard That?
We did it. We did it. We made it. This is it. This is our year. I think we've finally proven that we're worthy of a top seed, and this year we're going to win it all. This is Heard That's here for the million. I'm telling you, you heard it here. Not a hot take, no Skip Bayless, none of that. Heard That is getting that Zell at the end of the TBT season.
Wow, that I love that. That's the clip and the quote right there. So I appreciate that. But let's talk about this year's team. Lost some guys in Rob Gray. He decided I want to start a Houston team and host in Houston, which is awesome. But you lost him. He was a key contributor last year, but you replaced him with like 5 new dudes. Let's talk about the additions.
Ooh, yeah, like you said, Rob, elite player, high level talent, high level dude. We're gonna miss him. Good luck to the Houston team. Hope we don't have to play him because then we have to send Rob home. But that's my guy, man. We're rooting for them. But no, big pickups, big pickups. Xavier Mumford has played in the tournament before. Elite scorer, elite player. Has done it all levels. Played for the Clippers for a little bit. Played in Australia. Played in Israel this year and lit it up. High level talent. And then DeAndre Kane, overseas elite, 4 times champion. Oh man, I like our squad. I like our squad, man. We've got depth. We're a little bit smaller this year, but I think we're scrappy. We're talented. We're gonna score a lot of points, so I'm fired up.
You guys always score a lot of points, led by you. You and Mumford, though, that is you talk about a points replacement for Rob Gray. Mumford's the answer right there because he's a off-ball shot creator that also can distribute. Honestly, similar player in terms of what he gives you, maybe a little longer and a little bigger than Rob Gray. So I love that. I love that addition right there. When you look at the region, it's tough not to look ahead to a potential regional championship against Kentucky, La Familia, the Kentucky alumni. But we won't jump to that quite yet. Your first round matchup, Jackson, Tennessee, boom. They come over from our soccer tournament and put a team in basketball. So not a lot of film, not a lot of tape on these guys out there. But I know you and Heard That operate with a nameless and faceless mentality. It doesn't matter who it is. But thoughts on that round one matchup?
Any given night, man, you never know what's going to happen. Can't overlook anybody, like you said. You got Kentucky on that other side. Both of us win 2. High level matchup right there. But one game at a time. The Boom, I think it's their first year in it, correct? So they're going to be fired up, play with a chip, and then see what happens. But our goal is to go undefeated this year, man. Undefeated $1 million. Let's go.
If the chips fall where they're set to fall, you will play La Familia, the Kentucky alumni, in the regional championship. And there's also potential that you would play Kentucky in the regional championship at Rupp Arena and then hop on a bus or car and go play Louisville in the quarterfinal, the Ville, back-to-back hostile, crazy road environments. Let's just talk about road environments for a second. How elite would herd that in a road environment, a true road environment be?
We want all the smoke. We're ready. We're ready. Like you said, we got to host it the past couple of years in Charleston and then co-host in Wheeling. That was cool, man. That was cool. Good crowds, but we want the million. Wherever we got to go, plane, bus, drive, walk, bear crawl, we're going to be there. Goal is to win it all.
How big of an advantage would it be to get back to Philly, having been there before? You know, the walls, the gyms, the court. What would it be an advantage to get there, or it's brand new no matter what?
Nah, we're revenge tour. I think we kind of took our foot off the pedal a little bit, got to Philly. Everybody's like, man, we're that close to the million. Played a bad game. Don't want that to happen again. Want to be back there. Want to get revenge.
There's rumors swirling around the TBT world that Elmore cannot keep his cool. He loses it on the bench. He costs his team games. What is the family group chat saying about his coaching philosophy and, frankly, the fact that he just can lose his cool and jeopardize? Heard that.
No. See, people don't realize that there's a method to the madness. Like, there's things called like strategical technicals. Elite is that. Like, flow of the game, flow of the whistle. Like, Ott's got a pretty good feel for that. So, like, if he needs to lose his cool, like, technical, like, he knows what he's doing. He got a tech last year, kind of flipped the tone for us. We went on a little run, started scrapping a little bit more. So there's a method to the madness. The dude is a basketball savant. Best coach in the TBT, in my opinion. His out of timeout plays aren't up to my level of out of timeout plays, but he's been working on them this offseason. He's been doing a lot of law office work, so he's going to have to kick it into gear, but he's fired up, man. I'd expect a lot of Jon Elmore tactics and outbursts this year.
Does he have to take PTO to come to the games, or is he such a household name in the Marshall basketball and West Virginia world that they're like, no, don't use your PTO. Go do what you need to do and bring us home a championship?
Well, you see, he works for my dad at his law firm. So head coach, assistant coach, both on staff. It works, man. Like, TBT is factored into the year schedule. Like, we're all right. We're good. We're ready.
I like it. The whole company's off. Closed.
Whole company.
Holiday.
Whole company. Elmore Law Office is shut down during TBT.
I love it. That's fantastic. Before I get you out of here, probably the biggest news of the day, of the year, is your first game will be called by analyst and former Inside TBT co-host who just texted me, tell John I say hi, Joey Lane. Thoughts on that? Your daughter's fired up.
Are you fired up? Joey Buckets is going to be in the building. Is he in the building, or is it like a on-air broadcast?
He'll be in the building.
Joey Buckets in the building. Best walk-on in Ohio State history. Oh, man. I saw that news the other day. Fired up. That's why I'm rocking my Inside TBT shirt. Just the enthusiasm booming over here.
I'm bribing him. I'm like, you got to bring me on the broadcast. You got to let me, call Jon Elmore big three. So we're working on that. But before I get you out of here, last thing, you know how it works. Any questions for me? I know you came prepped.
Cool. Let me see. So who is your sleeper team this year? You've got all these high-level teams. You got Heartfire. You got us. You got La Familia. You got Louisville. You got West Virginia and the Pittsburgh region. Like, who is your team that nobody's talking about that you're like, man, they have potential to go on a run?
So the Cincinnati regional is a little, what's going on up there? You know, you got Xavier, zip them up, and you got Nasty Natty who made to the quarterfinals last year, but you don't have that third team of like, well, these guys aren't a host team, so maybe that's why they're not a top 2 seed. You don't really have that team, but you do have Brown Ballers, formerly India Rising, who pulled off the biggest upset in TBT history last year, and then didn't have their leading scorer in their second round game against Carmen's crew. So you got Brown Ballers and you got Dream 34 up there, who have some key players in TBT, including PJ Hairston, who's coming out of retirement to play in TBT. So I look at that regional as like kind of a little bit of a, could we see the 4 seed or 6 seed, come out of here? But then also the boys Dream, who have yet to win a team in TBT. They picked up like the ultimate TBT free agent in Taylor Persons, who's
firepower.
His TBT MO is I come to TBT, I win my first round game, and then I get quadruple teamed in the second round. It's literally happened the last few years. It happened in not Lexington, in Charleston when y'all were hosting. It happened in Cincinnati. He went in and beat Nasty Natty in their first game in TBT. So that's his thing. So the boys Dream 34, and Brown Ballers. But as you know, what is an upset in TBT? There's not really
There's
an
no
upset.
upset.
Yeah.
I'm going the Du Bois the Du Bois team, like you said, like they got firepower, man. And they were close last year. I think they're gonna scrap. And that's my upset pick to come out of that region.
Ooh, I love it. That's just a little West Virginia heard that hate though, that you're gonna pick them over
little shade thrown in there.
West Virginia coming out of there. All right, John, this was great as always. You're going to play some golf. I know you're working on your game. Hopefully you can't play any golf from July, 19th to August 6th, but I'm sure you'll find some time to. Lexington's got some good golf from what I've heard.
If we win, I'll be golf. If we lose, no golf. If we win, might slide in some golf.
All right. I love it, John. Thanks, man.
All right, my guy.